What's going on there, YouTube? Welcome back to another comic book video. Okay, so it's time for us to continue our coverage over Greg Rucka's Elektra run. And now we pick up with a two-part story arc called Standing Outside the Temple in the Rain. Now, this two-part story arc does take place in Elektra issue number 16 and 17 in the 2001 Elektra series. Now, this also kind of continues what we saw at the tail end of our last video. Let me explain. You see, there was a character known as Jeremy Locke who had lost his wife thanks to Elektra. Now, when I say he lost his wife, I'm not saying that she was one of Elektra's targets. What I'm saying is that she was an innocent person that was killed off on accident when it came to Elektra going after one of her actual targets. But either way, for Jeremy, he began to learn more and more about Elektra and kind of realized that, well, she's a killer. She's a monster. She is an assassin. But for Jeremy, he feels like he can actually change Elektra. And the reason why, because he says, listen, you died once. You died by the hands of Bullseye, but then you were brought back to life thanks to the hand. And the problem is you use your second chance in life to pick up where you left off at, to be a killer, going around killing off people left and right. And so for Jeremy, his goal is to begin this process to hopefully change Elektra into a better person, somebody who's not just a flat out killer, a flat out bloodlust crazy person out there in the world. And so now we are beginning to see the change in Elektra, and it starts with this two-part story arc. Now, we do see that in the opening pages of this story arc, we're not actually seeing Jeremy go out of his way to figure out how to fix Elektra. It is actually his assistant, somebody known as Philip Carson. Now, Carson apparently knows someone, a sensei, who can actually teach Elektra to go down the right path. And so we see him actually talking to this person. And apparently, this person at first kind of like, I don't know, show me what you got. But then after seeing a few photos of Elektra, this person is actually intrigued to begin to see Elektra work, to kind of see if they want to, teach her. And so when we jump over to Elektra, we see Jeremy say, hey, listen, Philip found somebody for you, and I need you to get in the car right now and come with me so that you are able to see this person. And so as we go into the last few pages of this actual book, we do pick up with Elektra, Jeremy, and Philip going to the dojo of this new sensei. Now, we do learn that his actual name is Mr. Drake. Now, Drake here can see that Elektra is a great fighter, a great assassin. She has a lot of skills, but he also realized she has no heart. And she also has much to learn. And so for Mr. Drake, he's kind of like, you know what? Let's fight. And you have the two characters actually fighting. But while fighting, you can see that Mr. Drake is on a whole new level. And so unfortunately for Elektra, she's not able to actually go toe-to-toe with Drake. It's really more Drake just playing with her. But while playing with her, he begins to call out different names. Now, all the different names that he is calling out are different people that she had killed off over the years. And so it's him saying like, hey, you may have killed off that person and that person and that person. But like, you went after people who were below your level. I'm somebody who's above your level, who can give you an actual challenge, somebody who can easily take you down. Now, for Elektra, she does not believe that. She believes that she can win, but he has to teach her that lesson. And so you have Elektra try to use her weapon against Drake, and Drake uses his hands and bends the blade on her weapon. And he's all like, see, you still have a lot to learn. That was a sharp blade coming right at me, and I was able to literally bend it just like that. A technique that I see you don't know how to do yet. And once you have Elektra see that, she realized that Drake is, above her. And so she gets down on her knees and begins to ask him to begin training her. And he says, hell no. and he walks away. And so as we dive into the last chapter for today's video, we do pick up with Elektra, Philip, and also Jeremy leaving, except you have Elektra say no. She is staying. And the reason why? Because she wants to convince, she wants to prove to Mr. Drake that she'll be a great student to take in. And so she begins to stand outside his actual dojo. The whole idea of the story arc being called standing outside the temple in the rain is because of this moment right here. She is standing outside in the rain, hoping for Mr. Drake to actually accept the offer to begin teaching her. Now, when you have Drake walk outside his dojo, he sees Elektra, and when he does, he knows what she wants. He knows that she wants him to accept her offer to make her become his student, to learn how to fight. But for Drake, he's all like, no, I don't want to teach you. I don't want anything to do with you. And so he walks away. Now for Elektra, she's not going to take no for an answer. And so you have Elektra begin to follow Drake around. Now while doing that, you did have Elektra realize that Drake is trying to spend time with different people of his neighborhood. And so because of that, she kind of realized, okay, maybe that's what he wants me to do. Maybe he wants me to be completely different, to not be that killer person. Now, she's on the right path, but at the same time, she's not completely getting it because she also believes that if she does some kind of work outside of fighting, outside of killing, then maybe Drake will accept her. And so you have Elektra trying to paint his building for him, but you have Drake said, no, that's not it. And also, you need a lot of help to fix your soul. And so for Elektra, she continues on to hopefully convince Drake to take her in. But then you have Drake sit down with Elektra and say, listen, the reason why I can't take you in because you have no room for me to teach you, meaning that thanks to the hand and also your past trainers, you are completely filled of knowledge, of your knowledge. Now I said your knowledge. And the reason why, because it's Drake saying, if you want to learn from me, you have to make room for me. But also, my kind of training is completely different than what you have gone through in the past. And so you have Drake once again walk away. Now, there were a bunch of kids who kind of been around Elektra the entire time she's been outside Drake's dojo. Either way, when it came to kids, they had kicked a soccer ball at Elektra and she was able to grab it in time. Now, for the kids, they believe that she may lash out at them, but instead, she begins to play with them. And that was Drake's big point of his lesson. If you want to learn from me, you have to make room for me. You have to get rid of what you have learned in the past. The whole idea of being a killer, the whole idea of being a weapon for other people. Once you have made room for me, then I can begin to teach you. And so right now, because you have Elektra not lashing out at the kids, but actually playing with them, you have Drake accept the offer. So you know what? It's now time for your training. And this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. Also, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But guys, see y'all next time. Later.